Hello everybody, Heine here. Today we are going to install our new gaskets in our new window or our old windows. So these are the windows that I've cleaned. Here's one, here's the second one, and I want to make sure you guys can see all of that. Yep, and I got some tools. I bought some new screws, and I bought the gaskets, and we're all going to replace things like this. This is just an old gasket, and there's some flex left in this, but I thought since I'm cleaning these and taking them apart, why not put in all new gaskets and seals? So here we go. Let's see here. So this is the top of our window. So once this is all put together, it sits something like that. And in this, okay, so this is the inside. I'm sorry. Let's start over. And I'm gonna put this over here, and I'm gonna flip this like so, and then this has to be flipped so. Okay, here we go. All right, there we go. So we have windows like this one, and this is the bottom. I know this because of this lip here. Making sure that all you can see that there's a lip here, and I know that that is in the bottom because it overlaps the second window. Can you see that? I think so. So there is a gasket up here, and I pried the old one out. In the factory, they put a little indentation in the slot here. They say it's to stop it from moving around at the factory floor. And so to get that old gasket out of there, I had to pry this up. I was given an advice to cut it with a Dremel cutting wheel, but I decided I'm just going to pry that open with a screwdriver. So I did that and got all the old gaskets out. And these gaskets came from Vintage Trailer Gaskets. It's a company in California that I ordered this from. And so you get a bundle or a string like this. I can't remember, 63 feet I think I ordered of this one. And then they mark it with what it is. It's 65 feet. And so this one was the Y seal. And I have to say they were very knowledgeable. Obviously they're selling this stuff, but had no problems with answering questions that didn't even have anything to do with their gaskets. So I highly recommend them. So what we're going to do is we're going to stick these in here in this little rail right there. I don't know if it focuses on that. It goes in there, and I believe this was harder than I thought it was going to be. Yeah, the other ones must have dried and shrunk, because this is a tight fit here. Anyway, so I'm getting it on there. Nice and easy. like so, and then I can pull it a little bit if I want, I guess. No need to. Okay. So I left the crimp on the one side, and that's probably gonna bite me, but and then I'm gonna cut this right at that edge there. So I've got my knife. And that's it. Okay. So that goes there. And then we're gonna do the next one. I'm gonna do the same thing. Like so. I had to cut a zip tie. Here we go. I hope I have these on the right way, because they can go on two ways. I'm going to double check that with one of the other windows that I haven't taken apart yet, just to make sure. I mean, that's pretty simple. Okay. And we have another one down here. Okay, I don't think you can see that. Let me angle down a little bit. So I'm working down here on this one, and I think, you know, before I go any further, I'm gonna have to check on this to make sure that I'm doing it right, because like I said, there is two ways to do it. Actually, no, there isn't. Well, I mean, there's always two ways, the right way and the wrong way, but no, I think that's it. Okay. All right, so that is the bottom seal. And then, of course, it can't be super easy. There are actually gaskets that go in this track here, and that goes underneath the arm that holds the windows down, all the way through here, under this one here, and all the way to the top there. And of course, the same thing on the other side. So, and I think if I open those windows, that might be a little easier. Okay. There's another zip tie here. I'm going to cut that one off too. And I'm feeding this from the bottom. So I could be feeding it this way and get this long. I could be feeding it from the top and get this long piece versus this short piece. This one wing is on this side, it's longer than the one that's on that side. And so I could feed it in this way and get the long one on the right, or feed it from above, and then the long wing would be on the left. So let me double check on one of the other windows. have brought it in here. Yes. All right. So here we have a window that I haven't yet done. So, of course, there. So that we have the long one facing down on this guy. So we've done this part down here. We did that right, or I did that right. Can't blame you guys for anything. And on these rails, it looks like the long flange goes towards the inside. All right, good thing we have that to check with. So that means I have to feed on the left side of the window, because the flange is bigger on this side. I have to feed it from below, and that way the long flange is towards the inside of the window. Okay, right there, and cut. And then on the right side, I have to feed it from above, from the top I should say, so that the long flange ends up facing the interior of the window, or the inside. So here we go. And so, like I said, these I ordered from California. The company is in Roundup Drive in Walnut, California. They were very nice. And if you don't know what seals you need for your camper, you should look on the inside of the window, the bottom trim will have a stamp, and it's usually on the bottom of the window, he said, sometimes on top, on the top rail, but I found mine on the lower end, and as you can see it says HEHR, and then it says -1 and then 4911. So it's a 4900 series window, and all those numbers mean something to me. All I needed to know was that it was a Her 4900 series window. And then in their catalog, which they have online at vintagetrailergaskets.com, you can look up all the different windows that are out there and that you need gaskets for. So we got this one squared away. We have these squared away here, and then this one. We have the bottom done over there. We need a gasket here and a gasket there. And same thing again, I have to feed this one from the top down so that I get the longer flange towards the glass. So there we go. Cut it, and then on this one it should be fed from below, but I didn't get this off. There was one screw here that just did not want to budge, and I did not want to break anything, so I left it on there. So if I have to feed this from below just to get the right flange pointing to the right side, So what I do is I cut it to length first, and then now I can feed it from above and turn it either way I need it. So here we go. Now I have the longer flange facing towards the inside. All right, feed that down there. Perfect, almost. Okay, maybe need to cut that a little bit. Yeah, not sure how important it is to be exact, but there it is. So, got those. Now we have another style here, and I wanted to show you on the other window that on top there is this sort of like an eyebrow gasket that's longer that goes over all of this, and it feeds into, see how these are almost the same? Look how much cleaner that is after I cleaned it with that aluminum brightener. Anyway, so that feeds into here, and as you can see, this is so hard that it breaks when you manipulate it. So we are going to install a fresh one. I am going to install a fresh one, and I ordered that as well. This I got 23 feet, so that should be enough for my 7 windows. Let's see here. Yeah, it's a good thing they use zip ties and not tape, because that would be brutal. All right, so as you can see, this isn't, it's flat on that side, and as this one was before I broke it off, it was flat on the outside, and then it does have some sort of an edge that points inward, and I assume that that's it. And look, I don't even know if you can see the difference there. This is so dried out. Well, this is a window from 1974. So we're talking about a 49-year-old window. 49-year-old gaskets. So and it was not garage stored, so it was sitting outside. Here we go, feeding that in there. And this is like rubber, right? It must be rubber, but it has so much flex in it. It's perfect. Ooh. It's a little hard to pull. So I pull it a little bit at a time. Ooh, that one got away from the track here. Okay. Okay, there we go. So the cut on this side wasn't exactly straight, so I will trim that. There you go. And there. I probably cut that too short. No, it's perfect. Good. I just checked with the other window, and that looks good. So now, am I missing one? I think this one. Yeah. Pry this open a little bit. Can't remember if there was one there. I don't think so, but so this was the top part. That feeds into there. No, there wasn't one there. Okay. Don't want to waste it. So now what we need to do is put this thing back together. Right? Easy, you say. So well, first of all, I called the vintage gasket guy about these screws, because I don't know, the old ones looked like they were shaped, you know, with a straight line, and then they were snub-nosed. But he told me that I didn't need anything special. So I went and got these screws. And I think now I have to flip this part over. And we're going to move you a little bit. Straighten you up. Lower it down. Okay. So we have these holes here, and we have these holes here. And I believe when I took these off, there were 2 screws. One in the back here, and I believe one in the absolute front. So, and there were these short guys. Okay. And now to do this one. A different screwdriver. This number 1 is not the right one. No. Let's see here. Move you again. Better. Am I breaking the window? Feels like I am. I did. Not good. Okay, so I guess my screws might be just ever so slightly bigger than the ones that were in there. And I cracked one of the glass windows, so this one too. Okay. Work on that side. Yeah, see? Correct it. I don't know if you can see it. But, alright, it looks like we're gonna have to replace a window glass. So these have that point, and maybe that's why the other screws were snub-nosed. So that's what I'll have to do. I'll have to grind these down ever so slightly so they don't do that. So I guess there's going to be a part 2 in this series. Sorry about that, but that's how things go sometimes. I will get back to you when I have this corrected. Bye now.